Welcome back, everyone. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining today. We're going to do things a little different. We're going to try one of our kind of spur of the moment Tarocchi Mundi readings, which is kind of like a old Italian way of saying, mundane tarot. So what we try to do is look into some of the events taking place in the world, see what's happening at the time, and then just draw the cards, see what happens. And then if it plays out, great. If not, also great, depending on the situation. So I'm sure, if it predicts like, oh, there's going to be a tsunami or something like that, probably don't want it to be that. But if it's something good within the cards, hopefully, we'll see. It's kind of like a little lottery. So I'm going to be shuffling the deck. I have here a few decks here. This is Steampunk Tarot, Steampunk Lenormand. I've also got the Angel I Am cards out to kind of clarify some of, the forces behind this whole issue. So today's issue, there's a lot of scandal going around about, I guess if you want to talk about Sergio Starmer and his dealings with Mandelson, and what that's going to, imply for, the government going forward. And this has been slathered all over the news. And so a lot of people are just kind of wondering, are we going to go to another general election? That's going to create some tectonic shifts, I believe, in the UK and foreign policy everywhere else. So what we're going to do, we'll just peer into it, see what happens, and try to have a little bit of fun with it. But of course, if the cards play out, we'll see what happens next. So before we get started, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell so you don't miss any updates from future postings. And if you would like not if you would like a personal reading with me, but if you would like to contribute monetarily, feel free to do so by using the PayPal link in the description box below. So let's get started. What is going to be the fate of Sergio Starmer and the Labour Party? Keep the question simple. It is going to be the fate of Sergio Starmer and the Labour Party following the Mandelson scandal. What is going to be the fate of Sergio Starmer and the Labour Party following the Mandelson scandal? If you're unsure what's going on with Mandelson, there's plenty of news around. I'm not going to really repeat a lot of certain words. Don't want to get flagged for YouTube. We'll just use the word bacon, bacon bombs. Okay, first card. Okay, second card. And the third card. What's going to happen to Sergio Starmer and the Labour Party? Finally, it's the outcome for this reading. Clarify the first. Second. Clarify for the third. Okay. And finally, clarify the outcome. So here's what we've got here. Didn't expect these kind of cards to come out, but let's just have a go at it. First cards up, we have the Triumph card, which is the Chariot card, but it's in its side. So what we imply here, especially with it clarifying the Two of Wands, we're going to see that Sergio Starmer is going to try to create a brilliant story to kind of get himself to move forward and to kind of move past the situation as it stands right now. It's going to be very difficult. Conversely, what I also see is a lot of people plotting against him to remove him from power. So this could come from within the party, or it could come from outside the party, probably both. That's what I suspect. We can clarify with the cards just a little bit, just to see what it says. Is this going to come from within the party or from outside the party? Inside upright, outside reverse. This is going to come from outside the party predominantly. That doesn't mean that it won't come from inside the party as well, but there's going to be a lot of people challenging him. Of course, you've seen Kimi Babinot, who's the leader of the Conservatives, grilling him to bits, last Wednesday to kind of talk about the situation, which was, of course, yesterday. And this is where the whole Mandelson inquiry came out, or at least the question at hand. So on both sides, what I see them doing is trying to show up their defenses to try to bring this to a cumulative head. And then that's going to move into the next phase, which is going to be the more telling cards here. This is going to be the Five of Swords in the reverse, and it's going to be the Queen of Swords. I see Kimi Babinot as this Queen of Swords. What this talks about here is I do feel that there's going to be someone stepping down. Swords reverse. Clarify parts. Let's do this again. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh god, yeah. Okay. There was a reason for me grabbing this card. But clarifying the Five of Swords in the reverse, we have King of Wands and the Death card. So this is the death of this is the end of a person who is who pretends to be a charismatic leader. And I use the word pretend because we have the Five of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Swords, grilling him constantly. So I think over the next few PMQs, what we'll see is a lot of questions coming about, getting him to step down. And if anyone remembers what happened when Theresa May was forced to step down, it came after a heavy period of intense pressure. And so what this implies for Starmer and the Labour gang is that parties from around the UK are going to start dragging him through the gauntlet to try to make sure that he answers and atones for the things that he's done. I think what's going to happen is party pressure is going to be put on him to finally bring this to a conclusion, because Labour is very worried about the future of the party. The party's been here for quite a long time. They won their first premiership, I think it was in 1923, and that was after a massive general strike. It was either 23 or 24. But when we go into this, the Five of Swords in the reverse, the Queen of Swords, this is a sharp, intelligent woman bringing an end to this King of Wands. And I think that Keir Starmer does kind of imply a lot of King of Wands energy. He insinuates that quite a bit, where it's about confidence and getting things, but it may be short-lived or energy that dies out quickly. After that, this progresses into the next stage, where we talk about the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So when we have the Four of Swords, we talk about a pause. And in this pause, there's going to be a lot of mental stress and conflict. We're going to see exactly why that is. But when you have this is 4 plus 9, that's 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. Massive stalemate. But also, when we look at the number 11, it also tells us a bit about the number 11, which is in the major arcana, which is justice. And justice follows after the hangman, which is a period of intense stagnation and trying to mull things over, being put in an uncomfortable place and position. So that way you can then step out of that and it comes before. Sorry, I need to correct myself. It comes before the hangman. It comes after the Wheel of Fortune. So that means we're going to have a period where things begin to turn in our favor or in favor of change. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card that really drives in the concept of change. That moves into justice, where things finally come back to balance. And then it goes into the Hangman, where everyone's forced to kind of sit and understand things from a new perspective before progressing onwards. So, clarify, we're going to talk about what is the Four of Wands about. What's the Four of Wands about? Okay. Yeah, probably shouldn't have this for today, but we're going to just say the cards out is the Lovers. There's going to be a feeling of intensity and a choice. The Lovers originally was known as the choice, the decision. And then the Three of Swords in the reverse. This is a period of healing from heartbreak, healing from betrayal. And if this is the sentiment of the UK, then that will definitely talk about this will be a period where they plan for a general election. I don't see another person stepping into the role that Keir Starmer had coming from the Labour Party. It's quite possible it will happen. We can look into that even more. But when I have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Lovers, and the Three of Swords, all of this is mental energy, communications energy, and so on. This is a rapid period of an attempt to right the wrongs that took place within the society, and doing so using a choice. And what do we use to make choices? We use ballots to make our choice. I'll pull one more card for the section, then we'll move on. Clarify this future section one more time. Okay. So interesting. Three cards came out. We have, firstly, the Apprentice, or as we call it, the Fool, taking a leap into something new, which is what I think a lot of people will do. We have then the Page of Cups. This is a message that is delivered from a person who is newly appointed, newly in a position, or a very young person. And then we have the Aviatrix, or that is the High Priestess. This is finally connecting with intuition and being able to finally have all of the answers revealed to us intuitively. People will begin to know what will be the outcome of this election. And additionally, I think that many people will leap into a new candidate, because the Page of Cups is definitely someone who is very new at experience. So I don't think it will be a major political party. It's not going to be like Conservatives or Labour. So these are the long-standing duopoly that's been pervading a lot of the, mainstream politics in the UK. So what I see is a new party. Now we have a lot of blue in this party. So whichever party, uses the color blue quite a bit, and gold, that's going to be them. Moving forward, the final outcome, what I see here is the Three of Cups. And this talks about a celebration, a rejoicing period. And this comes after the Two of Cups, of course, comes before the Four of Cups. But Three of Cups is all about a community coming together to celebrate something. And this is coming with Knight of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords. So what I see here, a lot of intense communication is going to take place about the newly appointed leader of the UK. And this will then tell us that it's going to make the country happy, at least the majority of the country. Whoever doesn't get it probably is going to feel like shit. But that said, that's what that represents. So these are the cards that I see laid out, intuitively understood. We're going to pull one card from the Steampunk Lenormand, and then we'll pull some cards from the Oracle of Emanations, the Angelarium. Okay, put the deck. And the reason why I'm shuffling these now rather than simply just saying, okay, I've laid the cards out is because I don't want to bullshit you, honestly. Like, in any reading I do, it's always a genuine reading, but I want you to see me shuffling the deck and pulling the card out. It was the Norman message. So we have here a ship, and this ship is number 3. This is about expansion. This is something new that people are going to explore and discover. I still do not get energy that it's going to be a typical party. So the non-typical parties in the UK are typically the Greens, Reform, which used to be the Brexit Party, which used to be UKIP in many ways. And then you have, what's the other? So it's Greens, Reform, and I don't know. Let's see, what's the other one? There's plenty of other ones. Greens and Reforms are the ones that come to mind precisely at this moment. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about it. So ship, it's a positive card. It's a ship or boat moving, traveling for a holiday or a trip, transfer, usually a long distance. So what that could tell us is that there will be ambassadors from other countries congratulating whoever takes the place of the current government. I see this as kind of like a voyage, not in a physical sense, but in a metaphorical sense for the country. It is going to be about exploring something new that is going to be taking place in the country. And no longer is it going to be kind of an establishment ridden party, but it will be a party that's basically bringing about new types of leadership. So whoever that is, that will be the party that comes out on top. So we're going to now pull 2 types of cards from the Angelarium. I've separated the Angelarium into 2. One of them will take insights from the Tree of Life, and the other one will take insights from, let's see if I can move that over here so I don't accidentally stop recording. Another one will take an angel, an archangel, or an angel itself. That will give us a message as to what will be taking place. Okay. Who is the angel presiding over this message? Why did I think that was going to come out? And what is the... Okay, so we have here Yeshod, which is the... Let me see, the focus. There we go. So we have Yeshod, which is the oracle. It's the message from the Tree of Life, which is about the root, the connection, people getting back to their roots, tradition, heritage, history, and being able to manifest something that connects with the past, present, and future of an entity, of a society, of a universe that is something waiting to be born. As you can see with Yeshod, it is almost like the universe looking down upon its creation of all the things that it's being born from itself, which represents the physical earth as it comes into the 10th sphere. However, what we talk about, this is the sacral chakra as well. It refers to people finally feeling grounded in where they are, whether that is within a position, a job, a love for life, a relationship, or grounded in their lives altogether. But Shatil, this talks about the angel of silence. The angel of silence kind of talks to me a bit about being still, understanding what needs to be done, and allowing the answers to come to you. Oftentimes when we meditate, we look into things and we want to know the answers really, really quickly, but sometimes you have to allow the answers to come to you. I'm going to pull one more Angelarium card. See if we can find it here. Angel of Snow. So, very interesting cards that have come out for it. I didn't expect these types of cards to actually show up, but I can read you a little bit about what these two angels represent. So we'll go to Châtillon. Try not to read it in Spanish. Okay. Châtillon. Words fail. The wind dies. The earth comes to a rest. Châtillon descends into stillness. New forms for all things emerge, touched by the elusive fingers of the angel Châtillon. Space fills with silence, and void gains new meaning. We are held still by the grips of its presence. Fear is useless, as its presence is almost always brief. Silence slides over your ears, enveloping your awareness completely, as if you've closed your eyes. Take a moment, take the silence within you, and use it to still the tremors of your soul. Châtillon wills it. And then we have Shigellio. Shigellio is the angel of snow. The bravery of happiness in the face of sadness. Happiness that stands against the stark cold and does not shiver. The winter is heralded by the fall of snow as Shigellio dances, each step as unique as the snowflakes that frolic about this angel. The quiet reveler of winter, Shigellio, moves over the rime, a bright and joyous visage amidst a harrowing landscape. Its presence brings relief to those who seek escape for an overburdened world. Take refuge from what ails you. It is time to recover. So, whatever happens, and this is just a tarot reading, but whatever happens, this will be a time of reconciliation, healing, and progress. And I'm getting the phrase, I'm just going to say it because it's been playing in my head all day. Mene, mene, tekel uparsin. Mene, mene, tekel uparsin. If you read the Bible or if you read anything about any Abrahamic religions, you'll understand what that means. I'm going to end it here. I'm not going to go any further into detail. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Let's see what happens, see if it comes to pass. I've shuffled these cards to death, and these were the messages. So I hope they've been of some use and of some help. And let's see what happens in the near future. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Until next time, love and light. Bye now.